Hello, hello, hello. I'm hoping this is working. I see I have the Wi-Fi button thing going on. Now it's starting to get better. Anyway, welcome back to the live stream Monday nights here at Joe Daddy's Garage. Yes, I'm in the garage, obviously. And I've been doing this for quite some time. We do these live streams on Monday nights at 7, and normally, I do one on Thursdays at 3 p.m. This past week, I did not do one. I had a phone call that I had to take, and it just didn't work out. So I did not do the live stream, and I apologize for missing that one. However, we're here tonight, and we can continue on talking about classic cars, Mustangs, Camaros, Mopars, whatever. Doesn't really matter. We have to get Studebakers in there somewhere. Anyway, so we're going to, if you're here for the first time, typically we ask you to be involved. Ask a question, type something in over on the chat box or whatever. If you have a question about your classic car or something, even some modern cars we can answer questions about. But we try to do this in a format to where either I answer the question or somebody in the chat box answers the question. Either way, whoever gets a good answer gets a bell, because, hey, there's incentive there to be participating. Anyway. Now you know kind of the ground rules and how this works. Occasionally you will see maybe I get blurry or fuzzy. It's not me, it's not you, it's my Wi-Fi or internet thing. Just kind of bear with me. It'll usually correct itself shortly. Starting right off the top, at 6:07 today, Cillian Horgan was here. Now, I don't know if he's still here or not, but I've not seen that name before. So I'm going to give, I'm guessing, Cillian a bell for being first time here at the live stream. Terry Keithley, hey all, it's Monday night. Please hit the like button. Yes, by all means, hit the like button, but only hit it once. Don't hit it twice or it disappears. So only hit it one time. Crash Rider, hello from Southern Indiana. 4 waiting and 4 likes, off to a good start. Yes, that sounds great. Roger, Hindsight 67, greetings from next door. Glad you're here. Bob Shoemaker, evening all. On time for once from Oklahoma. Cool, Bob. Glad you made it. Jerry checking in from the Money Pit in Middle Tennessee. Ron Bell, greetings all, checking in from Northeast Tennessee. So we've got Tennessee pretty well covered. Dave Conville. First Dave. Good evening, Barry and everyone. So we do get a bell for the first Dave. We've been doing that for quite some time because we had a lot of people named Dave that would show up and be part of this. So Dave, I'll give you the first bell. Dale is checking in from sunny Northern California. Dawn's Manufactory out on the West Coast, Seattle. I think Seattle, right? Portland. Sorry, not Seattle. Portland. He's out there where it rains all the time. Kenny Ripley. That's a new name. Hello from Ozark, Missouri. That's a new name. Glad you're here. D-Man's Garage Builds. Here from Host M, Florida. That's a new name as well. Cool. We're getting some good names in here. New people showing up. Cricado Funelaria. I'm going to say Brazil. Good evening from Brazil, I'm guessing. Something like that. Cricado, I'm glad you're here. You've been here before, but I'm glad you're back. Canny. I'm guessing Canny is how you say that. Or Connie. Canny. Okay, Ripley. How much should it cost to redo shoes and pistons on a 66 Caprice 396? Well, the engine really doesn't come into play as far as being a big block. You're talking about shoes, and when you say pistons, I guess you're talking about brakes, drum brakes. So if you're talking about the brake shoes and the wheel cylinders, I'm assuming, or are you talking about a caliper system? If it's shoes and wheel cylinders, shoes are cheap. I mean, you can get a good set of brake shoes for probably $25 for, 25 to $30, let's say, for a pair of brake shoes, somewhere in that range. For the one axle, let's say the rear, $25, $30 for shoes. Wheel cylinders are usually, less, maybe $10 a piece, So if you had all 4 wheel cylinders, let's look at $40 basically for the wheel cylinders, and maybe $50, $60 for the shoes. You shouldn't be into it for $100. honestly, if you're doing it yourself, if you're doing all the work yourself, you have to consider a spring kit as well, brake fluid, that sort of thing. It may come into play. Also, and I'll point this out because I've talked about this before, if you're working on a classic car like this, 66 Caprice, I did a video on this on one of these, 66 Impala or 65 Impala, and there was an issue. So if you're having trouble with your brakes, let me remind you to check your brake hoses. So if you're looking at shoes and wheel cylinders, that's one thing. But if you're also having trouble with the brakes functioning, check your hoses. Those things will deteriorate and clog up and cause problems. I did a video on this 65 Impala. Specifically, it had a clogged up rear brake hose and it would not let the rear brakes release. And that caused the shoes and drums to get excessively hot and burn up. So anyway, that's what I'm saying if you're doing it yourself. Now, what a shop will cost, I have no idea. I don't know what a shop charges. But there's enough information on my channel that if you watch my videos, you can do it. So I would say $100 plus if you have to get a brake hose or two, there's 3 altogether. There's 2 on the front and there's 1 on the back. Brake hoses are $20 or less, So hope that helps. If not, let me know. Tom Mitchell, I should say. Hello, I have a 16 Mustang 302 3-speed. What would be a better transit upgrade to? Thanks in advance. Great show, by the way. Thank you, Tom. Well, the easy response is to just put a top loader 4-speed in it. Basically the same transmission. As we talked about this before, I think Dawn pointed out in Dawn's manufacturer, the only difference is you need a longer speedometer cable because it's on the opposite side on the 4-speed. Keep that in mind. A little more work involved would be putting in, what is it? The T5. I think it's T5. 5-speed out of a later model Mustang. That's going to take a little work. You have to, get the clutch pedal figured out. I know a lot of people convert them and they put in a modern style clutch cable. I think, in fact, Harvey has done it. Rally Cat Garage. He has done it. So I know you have to modify for the clutch and all that. But otherwise, I think it's a fairly simple, changeover. But the 4-speed will be your easiest option. And we can get into that more if somebody else wants to respond to that. Grease Rookie, Andrew checking in. I'll give you a bell for that. I'm glad you're here, Andrew. I was watching your video the other day where you took out your car and went for a drive and you had multiple problems. And I feel for you. I've been there. I've had problems. Maybe not exactly like yours, but I've had problems. And, it was painful to watch because I know you're struggling with the carburetor and that sort of thing. But it was fun to watch because I know you had your family involved, even though you had to go back and forth and get different vehicles to get the car home. I know you'll figure it out. But I was watching that the other day and I was like, oh man, that can't be that much fun, but you kept a good head, positive attitude, and that's a good thing. Okay, D-Man, thumbs up, yes. Dawn's manufacturer, and it's been raining a lot here lately in Portland. The season has arrived. Yeah, I don't need any rain. Canny I don't know. I'm guessing Canny. I'm gonna say Ripley. Let me just say Ripley. I don't know how. I don't want to say it wrong. So I know Ripley. I can say that correctly. Okay, I answered Ripley's question. Good. Third Stall Garage is checking in. Hi, Barry. Glad you're here. Steve, Footage Factory. Hey, dude, I'm back in town trying to order a Ford small block. Everyone is months out for delivery. Now, what do you need a small block for? Don't you have? I thought both your cars are running, or not. I know the 68 was running. I guess the other car wasn't. I don't know what your timeline is on that. Have you checked with like Summit? Usually Summit has stuff, and I don't know for sure. I don't know where you've checked with like Summit Racing or JEGS or even you can get those engines from AutoZone or Advanced Auto Parts or places like that too. So, but I don't know. I don't know where you've looked. But yeah, I'm sure there are months out. Terry, Barry, you need to get a copy of Hemmings Classic Cars, November 21st issue. There's a study in there that will blow your mind. Okay. Well, I'll have to, if I can find it, I'll have a look at it. Andrew, thanks for the bell. Glad you liked the vid. Yeah, it was fun. I know it's frustrating. I know it's frustrating, but that's why you work those bugs out. That's why you do those test drives. That's why you try to, I once built rebuilt a 69 Corvette for my buddy. It had a 427 in it. I converted it to a Tremec 5-speed and did a bunch of other work to it. And he said to me, okay, now go out and see if you can break it. And I said, what? He said, go out and drive it and see if you can get it to fall, something to fail. Okay. Okay. So he actually had insurance on it. He gave me some gas money, and he lived out of state. And he was like, and his reasoning was pretty simple. He was taking the car, back to where he lived in Virginia. And he said, I don't want to get it back and then something break and I don't know how to fix it. Okay. So I did. I went out and I hammered on his Corvette. I did. And nothing broke. Surprisingly, nothing broke. Didn't overheat. Nothing broke. And so I was done with the test on it, and I gave it back to him. I gave it to him, and I know he's been driving it off and on over the years now. That's been like, gosh, that's been a long time ago. I mean, that's been like well over 20 years ago. What year is this? That's been a long time ago. Donald Rice. Hi, Barry from Jeanette, Pennsylvania. Glad you're here. Harvey, I loved Andrew's video. I've limped many cars home on the test drive. Keep up the good work, Andrew. Yes. Don, I ordered a TKX from Summit, and it shipped 3 days later. People have been waiting months. Don't know how I rated that. Okay. So you're talking about now TKX. I don't know if that's, small block. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming we're talking about engines. So maybe Steve needs to check that out and contact Summit Racing. Just see what's going on there. Other than that, I don't have a good answer. I was trying to think, who was the other one would rebuild engines, and you were. They usually provide them for Advanced Auto Parts and AutoZone and stuff like that. They're the ones that take the engine. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it, but they would, they take an engine in, and they don't care what the diameter of the cylinder wall is. They just bore it to the max size or whatever and throw pistons in it and just don't care. They don't do any. It's not like a real machine shop. Here, you have your little small town machine shop where they're like, well, you need to, Jasper. That's it, Roger. Yeah, Jasper. Where, the small town machine shop says, oh, we're going to, let's say your bore is 4 inches right now. We can go 10,000s and clean it up, and you can get a set of, pistons that are this size and it'll fit and be perfect. Or you can go, 20,000s over, whatever. And you might be able to rebuild this engine 3 times. Jasper's like, screw it. Bore it to the max and throw the big pistons in. We'll be done. And that's what you get. And that's what you get. Yeah, Jasper. That's what you get. They don't care at all. Bad part is, I had put in a Jasper engine in, I may have talked about this before, like an 02 Ford Expedition. What a nightmare. Did all this work, got that engine in, fired it up, and it rattled. Something rattled inside that engine. Had to pull it all back out, drop another one in. Luckily, that one was fine, but surely they test run these things. You don't just put it together and say, here you go, have at it, hope it works. But yeah, that was not fun. Let's see. Third stall, Andrew's first ride in his car might have been frustrating, but that first riding in a project can be exhilarating too. Doug, yes, that is true. That is true. In fact, I kind of said it. I think I've been driving this car just up and down my street up until last week, and I had Roger come over, And I said, let's go for a ride. You know, we had done the test alignment on it. We went up the street to the, I actually drove it to the muffler shop. The guy I know that we used to race with. He put the exhaust on the car, and I took it up to him and said, hey man, here's that car you did the exhaust on 6 years ago or whatever it was, 5 years ago. I don't even remember. And he was like, oh, you know, he was happy with it. He thought it looked pretty good. Dawn, new transmission. Okay, yeah, I should have known that. TKX, that makes sense. Ray's asking if it's a 5 or 6 speed, and Dawn says 5 speed rated for 600 foot-pounds. Cool. Steve, sorry I was on the phone with Jegs and only heard half of what you said. Oh, Steve. Okay. Well, I was talking about Summit, Jegs. So you have contacted Jegs. I don't know if you contacted Summit or not. I don't even know who all makes engines or sells engines for the cars, but it would be nice. I mean, if you're going to buy a new one, that's great. I don't know if you could find somebody who has one. I don't know if you're trying to get the car together so you can get it shipped overseas. I don't know what the plans are, but I hope you find something to fit it. Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Awesome. You are the man. You are the man. Thank you. Appreciate that. Steve, 351 ATK 10 weeks out. Yeah, I sold my Coyote engine for the 65. Yeah, I thought you had mentioned that, but I wasn't. I knew you'd sold it, but I didn't know if you had another engine available for the 65. Dawn, they don't test run, just spin it up with electric motor and make a few checks. I believe that. With Jasper, yeah, they probably check, make sure it's got compression, check the timing, make sure it's right, and say, good luck. Have at it. Rick Stevenson checking in. Hello, everyone. Glad you're here. Bob, a lot of these engine builders say they have run or dynoed the engine, but the parts are clean. Yeah. And I guess in reality, if the engine's built good or well, it should be relatively clean. You should have oil residue. Depending on how long it's been run and stuff like that, you may end up with some junk in the oil in an oil filter. So, but if they did a good job, it should, you would hope, be pretty clean. I wouldn't want some. I mean, I get what you're saying, but if it has a bunch of, I'd be more concerned if it had a bunch of junk floating around, because what has not worked right and come apart or worn out too early. Ish checking in. Hello, everybody. Glad you are here, Ish. All right. Well, I have a couple things that I wanted to mention, I guess. I did post on my Patreon earlier today. Tried to do it early this morning, but I had trouble with my editing software, so I had to kind of wait for it to catch up and get correct. But my wife and I went to the lake this weekend with some friends, had a good time, was able to just relax, not get too stressed out over trying to get this done or that done or whatever. And so it was a good time. Before we went on Friday, I was working on making a video for Yes Welder. I mentioned it before. Yes Welder has sent me a plasma cutter, and they've sent me a welder, and they've sent me a welding hood. And I'm working on a video for that stuff. It was going pretty smooth. With putting things together. And today I went to finish trying to make a video, and I ran into some problems. So I'm going to contact Yes Welder and say, look, these are some of the flaws that I found in your system. And they asked me to do like a real review of it, So as I've said before, I'm not going to endorse something just because somebody sent it to me. It doesn't work that way. I'm going to kind of test everything and see what works. The biggest problem I've had is I put 30 thousandths wire in it. It works. It did what it's supposed to do. I try to put 25 thousandths wire in it, and it won't feed. The reason it won't feed is because the rollers they gave me or put in it, they're too narrow. The grooves are too narrow to feed the 25,000s. So I'm going to have to figure out either from them, hey, what are you going to do? You're going to send me some smaller rollers or something? Because this isn't going to work. I can't do sheet metal work with 30,000s. That's too heavy. That is too heavy. And the pieces that I welded, I did, use the 30,000s on some heavier steel, and it did great. It did a great job. But I tried the 30,000s on sheet metal. No, not going to work. Now, what's kind of cool about this welder, in some aspects, you can run it on 110 or 220, which is nice. But it's a lot of, it got a lot of digital readout stuff on it. So I've got to, the challenge is, I'll say this, the instructions aren't they're not like the ones I would write. Put it that way. You already know how I operate. So they're not my kind of instructions. They're kind of an overview set of instructions. And I ran into a problem trying to understand what the dials were supposed to do and the measurements and numbers. And I'm like, what does this mean? But I'm getting it figured out, and hopefully I can get that taken care of and get it addressed. Like I said, I've sent some pictures to Yes Welder addressing what I found as flaws. There will be some other information I put in the video that, hey, if somebody's buying one of these things or getting one, they need to know things that could be improved upon. We'll just put it that way. All right, let's see. Greg is checking in. He says, hi, Barry. Greg is here from Australia. Glad you're here, Greg. Let's see. Rainman, how do you get full 12 volt from a 60s Mustang for the distributor? I think we've had that question before. And I'm trying to remember what the answer was. I may not have the answer. I'm going to ask the panel. There's been some ways to bypass, and get voltage, but I don't want to say, feed it straight off the battery, which, that's not going to work. It's got to go through the solenoid before it gets power. But I know somebody else has already addressed this, and I'm going to try to let them answer it. But that's a good question, Rainman. Good question. Brian B., everyone finally made it, was at the dock. Uh-oh. I hope everything is good. Just a checkup, right? Just a checkup. Hope so. Jerry, can you do a live stream on Patreon? Maybe, Jerry. Maybe. I've looked into that a little bit. The difficulty with trying to do a live stream on Patreon is it's adding more pay service. Like, I've already put my Patreon videos that are on Vimeo, right? And those are password protected for my patrons. If I want to do a live stream, I think I have to upgrade my service with Vimeo. I think. But I've kind of looked at that a little bit. I could look at it a little bit harder, though. Not a bad idea. Doyle Walker is checking in. Glad you're here. Brian. There should be a yellow resistor wire coming from the ignition. You need to bypass to get 12 volts. So there you go. There's one answer for you. Who asked that? Rainman. Yellow resistor wire coming from the ignition. You need to bypass it to get 12 volts. So basically what we're saying is there's an internal resistor, right, in line with that wire. Is that what you're implying? And you need to get around that or eliminate it, if that's what I'm hearing. Dawn, Mustangs use resistor wire between the ignition switch and firewall connector. Run a bypass for that wire. And then Rainman is asking, is it a pink wire? And so Brian is saying it's a yellow wire from the ignition. Yellow resistor wire coming from the ignition. You need to bypass to get 12 volts. So I'm assuming it's yellow. You may want to look at a wiring diagram to get a better idea, but looks like 2 answers. And Dawn also says use resistor wire between the ignition and firewall connector, run a bypass for that wire. Jerry says don't add cost. Yeah, well I understand, and it's hard to keep things rolling sometimes. With each little thing wants their piece of life, right? Everything I'm doing wants a piece of my life. But that's how it works sometimes. Anyway, so I think I don't know if I mentioned or not. I'm working on a video. I put the trim on the car on the front. It's on. Had a little bit of a fight with it. Had some issues with the lower trim piece. I actually had some help too with this, but the lower trim piece, there was a brand new piece that actually came with the car. It had a blue tape on it, or this transparent film on it. Okay, so it was brand new. And I did a test. I actually put it up in place, and this was after I sealed the glass and everything and put it on. And we tried to put the side pieces on, and the side pieces wouldn't even touch. They wouldn't touch. So I grabbed an old trim piece off the base, another, from the base for the windshield base. Another one that I had that wasn't new. It was an original piece. Put it on top of that other one, and the new one, I think it was 3/4 of an inch too short. That's a lot. When you're talking about trim, 3/4 of an inch too short overall. So I took that other piece and I polished it up as best I could and put it on, and then the other pieces overlap fine. So just be cautious. Sometimes you buy something thinking, oh, this is a brand new part. Well, we all know that, right? Yeah, brand new part. We know it's going to fit because it's new. No, not true. But anyway, so I got that on. The trim looks okay. It's brand new, but it looks okay. The struggle I have is, the gaps, because you can only do so much. You can only do so much with this trim by, pushing it on to you hit the post or, the clips, and it's done. You're not going any further. So you end up with gaps. Compare that to a modern car, that has 0 gap on it. And it kind of, weighs on you. You're like, yeah, this is, but that's the way they were. They weren't super tight to begin with. All right, let me see what we got here. Dawn says, wait. Brian, the yellow wire is a resistor. Yellow is later 60s. Not sure on early models. Okay. Dawn, there's a connector in there in that wire for inserting a rally pack tack. Okay. Bob says pink wire with bullet connectors. So now we're getting some answers. See, y'all get bells, because I don't know this. I don't know what the color of the wire is or all that. So there's some great information there. Jerry, I drove the Mustang with the E-Pass. So far not, I guess, conclusive without driving it on the road. Okay, but it worked, right? If it worked, that's half the battle. Shane, I'm here finally. What did I miss? We can't tell you. It's a secret. You have to go back and watch it later on. Doyle, do I need an English wheel to make a door scan? Found more damage on right door with half inch of Bondo. Door scan not available. Do you need an English wheel to make a door scan? That is a tough question. I mean, were you going to try to make the whole door skin, or a patch, or what? I don't know that an English wheel would make it any easier. because unless you're familiar with using an English wheel and knowing how to manipulate it and make it do what you want it to do, you may go through a lot of metal before you finally get something figured out that's going to fit. You said door skin is not available. That I don't have an easy answer for you on that. I really don't. Because you're going to weigh in experience on using an English wheel into that, and also the cost of the English wheel and the metal that you need and all that sort of stuff. I would assume you're not trying to make the whole skin, though, because that would be really complicated. Coming up over the top and rolling it in, all that stuff. So I don't, I've used an English wheel to make patches and stuff, and it does help, but I can't give you any answer on that one. Raymond, yes, pink wire for my 67 Mustang. Okay. Harvey, the wire itself is a resistor. Many use the resistor wire to power a relay to provide a solid 12-volt wire. Oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Just use it as a relay. That's a fantastic idea. Give you a bell for that. That's a good answer, Harvey. Don, do you guys use a clutch pedal upper spring when using a diaphragm clutch? I don't have an answer for that one, but maybe somebody has an answer for Don. You use the clutch pedal helper spring when using a diaphragm clutch. So anybody have any input on that? Marshall, howdy folks. For the guys doing motors, I recommend the OTC 4305 engine load leveler. Very smooth and easy adjustment. I'm going to have go through Barry's Amazon page too. That would be even better. Definitely use the Amazon page. Definitely use Amazon. You know what? I think that may be the same one I have, actually, because I know I bought one off there. And that may be the same one that I have. I don't know where to put it, but it's here somewhere. Brian, all's well, Barry, just setting up some hernia surgery. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. I hope it all goes well. That's one thing I don't want to deal with. Well, it's one of many things that I don't want to deal with. Let's put it that way. Arden Frey Jr., is there a way to buff out scratches out of a window? I'm going to say there is. I've not done it, so I can't tell you the sequence. But it's depending on how deep the scratches are and what what you're trying to save. There's a lot of work. I've heard of people doing it, using extremely high grit paper, and buffering and all that stuff. But I've not tried. But I've heard it can be done, but I don't have an easy answer for you. Let's see. Ripley, 99K 1500 old body style. Can't get good pedal on the brakes. Have changed everything some twice. Back up real fast and slam on the brakes a bunch of times. That help, but still need pedal. That's an ongoing issue with those trucks. It really is. And I don't know what the fix is, what the easy fix is. You change everything some twice. So I assume you put on a master cylinder, you bench bled the master cylinder, make sure there's no air trapped in there anywhere. Because that's usually the culprit, usually. But have you pedal would still get hard. If you had a restricted brake hose, you would probably have more pedal than normal, most likely. But I don't know exactly what the fix is on that. That is a good question though. But my first response is, did you bench bleed the master cylinder? Ish. Speaking of wires, which replacement harness would you recommend for a 66 convertible? Well, the two main ones out there, American Auto Wire and Painless Wiring. I've used American Auto Wire. I have not used Painless Wiring. So I can't tell you if one specifically is better than the other. I do know in American Auto Wire, which is available on my Amazon page. Don't forget. They're both. I think I have both listed on my Amazon page. The American Auto Wire kit that I had bought came with the switches, like the headlight switch, stuff like that, ignition switch already in the system. I don't know about painless, so I don't know one over the other which would be better. But I have used. Now I haven't used American Auto Wire on a Ford. I did it on 2 Chevys, and they worked out great. So that's all I can really endorse. Rain Man, thanks guys, big help because I'm running an HEI distributor. Okay, good. Doyle, lower half with 1 body line. Okay, Jerry says yes, you will need an English wheel. So, I mean, I would like to have my own English wheel, but I can't say that I can justify it. Now, if you want to experiment, Doyle, get one, get some metal, and see what it does. But I can't. I have not. Tried to make a door skin. I've made like quarter panel patches and stuff like that, and it takes some practice. Greg saying, Barry, yes, if you can use it. I think he's talking about the English wheel, I think. Jerry says, thumbs up. Pretty much says thumbs up. Yes, Jerry. Thank you. Brian, all I've heard about glass polishing is that it's only good for very light scratches. Never tried it myself. That's what I'm saying. I have not tried it. I have not been that motivated to try it. I've never seen it done, so I really can't say one way or the other. I've heard of people doing it. There's maybe some videos out there. I don't know, but I don't have anything on that. Ish, thanks. You're welcome, Ish. You're welcome. And like I said, I've got so much stuff listed on my Amazon pages. There's so much stuff out there. Bad Harry, hi all, just dropping in, see how everyone is doing. Well, I'm glad you're here, Harry. And to answer your question, you asked me earlier today, I just need an address. That's all. Just need an address. Shane, Chevy trucks have had issues with the ABS, EBCM module. I think 99 to 02 could be a brake pedal issue. Yeah. They had a lot of quirky little things going on with them in that first, early late 1999, early 2000s. But what is easy fix? I don't know. I really don't know. All right. Oh, the other thing. That's the other thing. Hold on a second. Something came in the mail today. I want to show you that. Actually, 2 things came in the mail today. Because as I'm trying to finish up, stuff on the car, there's little things that, little pieces and things that I need to finish. So I talked about this. This is the technical name, center console selector rod is what this is called. Of course, this is the original from '68. And the whole thing is goofy in my mind because it connects to the front of the shifter. Again, I talked about this. There's a little loop on the front of the shifter, and this slides in, and then this slides into a funky little bracket thing with the light in it. So when you move the shifter back and forth, as you move the shifter, you're actually sliding a light mechanism under the letters in the console, which to me is crazy. If you had the to me, I would rather have a light underneath, and as you move it, it opens a hole or slides a hole underneath each one of the light indicators. That makes more sense. But Ford wants you to move that whole thing. So anyway, this failed. You can see the ends broke off of a little bird mouth looking thing. So I got another one. This came in from CJ Pony. This one, you know, different, just it's black, whatever. Looks like the exact same design, you know. And again, you think about these things. These cars, they weren't planning on them being driven 50 years down the road, were they? You know, 5 or 10 years, and they were hoping everybody was just going to scrap it and buy a new one. So stuff like this was not designed to last 50 years. And here we are, you know, putting them back together and putting them on the road. So now I can bolt the console back in the right way, get it all done, and have that in, and work on putting in the radio, which is another thing. Now, I mentioned this in my Patreon video today. I put the steering wheel in, you know, I've got that custom whatever steering wheel and the adapter. Okay. And I ordered those from NPD. Well, NPD, they sell them independent pieces. So you can buy the adapter, you can buy the steering wheel, you can buy the horn, you can buy the horn little button in the middle. But they don't offer all the options for the little button in the middle. All I saw on NPD was a little, like a Cobra, you know, Cobra. That's a symbol for Cobra, right? This car doesn't have any Cobra features on it. I'm not going to put a Cobra in the steering wheel. It just doesn't make sense. The problem was the options on NPD didn't give you any options. You could buy the Cobra thing, and that was it. So then I was like, well, let me go check CJ Pony. So I went back to CJ Pony. They sell that steering wheel as a bundle. Comes with the adapter, the steering wheel, the horn, button, and the centerpiece. And you can get it however you want it, but it comes like as a bundle. Well, I don't need the bundle. I have the steering wheel. I have the adapter. I needed the horn button, and I needed the centerpiece. And I'm going to back up a step. Whenever I was putting this horn, this adapter on and the steering wheel, the adapter was hitting the steering wheel. Okay. And I was not happy about that. To me, there should be no reason why I should be hitting the steering wheel. So I started looking at it, and I started coming up with ideas. I actually talked to Rod about maybe machining the adapter, making it shorter so it would not hit the steering wheel or hit the column. That's what it was hitting, the column. And I thought about it some more, and I thought about it some more, and then I thought, well, you know what? I'll shim it. I'll just make a shim. So I took some metal tape. You know, you can buy that. Yeah, I guess you can buy it. I know in the airline industry, you can buy shim tape, like 1 inch wide. Let me grab it. I'll just show you. Just so you know. It might go by different terms. You might call it high-speed tape or whatever. This is a Scotch brand, and this is a roll of like foil tape. I mean, this is metal. This is aluminum, and you can use it as a shim, right? Now, I don't know how thick this is, but it's pretty thin. I mean, it's like thin as masking tape. So what I did, I took that adapter and I put 2 pieces of tape on either side of the center. Not one piece. I mean, one piece, 2 piece, 2 piece. So it has 2 layers. Put it on the car, bolted it down, and it was perfect. Fit fine. Put everything else together, and I was moving forward on that and realizing, okay, I need the horn button and I need the center decal for the horn button. Well, I could not find, like, NPD didn't have what I wanted, and CJ Pony really didn't. I mean, I think they were out of stock or something. I don't remember the parameters. So I started just Googling around, and I found, here's the other thing. The adapter did not come with instructions in the box. It came with the screws to hold the steering wheel to it, and that was it. So as I'm Googling around, I find a set of instructions online from, you know, their Scott Drake pieces. And guess what's in the box, or what's supposed to be in the box? A shim. It's supposed to have what looks like a thimble. Just picture a thimble with the end cut off, right? So you get a cone because the steering column has splines and up above it has a cone. And basically picture a thimble with the end cut off, a little, like a little funnel. And apparently the 68 and up cars, you're supposed to put that little shim on there, put the adapter on, and you're good to go. Well, mine didn't have any instructions. It did not have the shim. So but it's too late now. What am I going to do? I've already got everything bolted on. So now you know how that scenario is going. So if you ever buy one of those, look to make sure it has the adapter or the shim inside. So anyway, what did I do with the other thing? Oh, I went looking for the horn button and the center button, right? Nobody had them except Holley. Now you may not know this. Holley owns like half the industry now, if not more. Holley owns like Hooker headers. They own just all kinds of component parts companies. Holley now owns all of those. So I look online, and sure enough, Holley Performance Products, right? They had what I assumed to be the correct horn button. The little. I didn't open this yet because I have not received the actual horn. I'm waiting on the horn piece to show up. But this is what I wanted, the little running horse thing. So I got this from Holley, surprisingly enough. So I'm waiting on the other piece, the little horn piece to come. But now I know that it wasn't me that had the problem with the adapter and all that. It was missing from the beginning. Didn't have anything in it. So anyway, let me get back to where we were at. Bad Harry, Canada is small. I live next to Gary. Okay. Okay. Next to Gary. Well, maybe I'll send it to Gary. Rick Stevenson, I've had a similar problem with F-150. Ended up being a bad ABS control. That's very possible too. Talking about the brakes on that Chevy. Dave, so I'm at a favorite chain auto parts store today, and I noticed that Trico has special wiper blades for high mileage cars. I had to think about that for a while. Yeah. What does that mean? What does that mean? Why would their wipers be any different? And let me tell you this. I'll give you this advice up front. And I think it's good advice. I think if you're buying wipers, wiper blades, wiper, whatever, we all know, when it rains, they're putting them on at the parts stores all the time. And if you look at the price of wiper blades, I mean, some of them are $15, $20, $25, right? Have you ever looked at Rock Auto? If you go to Rock Auto, now you might have to pay the shipping, but if you go to Rock Auto, you can get a set of wiper blades comparatively dirt cheap. Same brand, like $5, $6 for a wiper blade for whatever vehicle. So if you need it for multiple vehicles, order one for your vehicle, your wife's car, your whatever, and get them in a bundle and save on shipping. But believe me, check out Rock Auto if you need wiper blades. No, I've never seen them any cheaper anywhere. So just keep that in mind. Doyle, there's a clear epoxy to repair minor glass scratches, but if it's deep like a wiper scratch, it probably won't work. Professionals is best bet or replace. Yeah, I've not heard about the clear epoxy for glass scratches, but yeah, that would yeah, that could be. I mean, there could be issues with that too. But good input, Doyle. Thank you, Dave. Speaking of mail, did you ever get my package? Yes, I did. Thank you for that. Yeah, thank you for that. Appreciate it. I'm getting messages on my phone while I'm trying to do all this. Boogie Bum. Hello, all checking in late. Well, hit that thumbs up button. Clark. Holly owns Edelbrock. Really? I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it because I know I have a friend who works for Holly now. He's a tech assistant, on phone lines. People call him up. And he was telling me that Holly owned this and that and this and that and this and that. I'm like Wyand blowers. I think he owns that. They own them, and who knows, whatever. I mean, but they very may well own Edelbrock. I don't know. I'll take your word for it, Clark. That's a good answer, Clark. We're going to go down to Clark Road. Christmas is coming. Holly owns Jolly Christmas. Jolly Christmas? What is that? Are you making a joke or is that like a real thing? I have no idea. Shane. Ray, so Barry, did you get the Mustang to the car show? I did not. Didn't happen. Got the car drivable. We got the alignment figured out. We were able to drive it around, and I cleaned it all up, got it pretty, backed it out of the garage, and it started raining. And it didn't stop. It just rained and rained, and it's like, well, not happening. Not happening. So I got to find somewhere else to take it. Maybe this weekend, if there's something around, I'll try to take it there. Ripley saying that's like having high mileage shoes for senior citizens. Yeah. That's a great analogy right there. Randy Wilson is checking in, and Randy says, I got the right rear trunk pan welded in 65 today. Frame rail is next. Cool. Good. Good. Dave Conville, would you believe $33 for the Rain X blades? Are you talking about the parts store? Yeah. Go right now. No, I mean, don't leave this, but go check out Rock Auto and see if they have those and see how much of a difference they are. Dave, Holly also opened a vintage Chevy truck parts catalog, much to my surprise. Okay. Well, Holly must be expanding. Oh, see, Shane, Holly Jolly Christmas. Okay. I get it now. Yeah, I get it now. It was not bad. It was not a bad joke. Dave is Jolly Christmas slang for J.C. Whitney. See, I wasn't the only one confused. Dave said it too. And Ripley says he likes that one. Yeah, the high mileage shoes for senior citizens. Yeah, but if you happen to be able to go and check out Rock Auto for the price of their wiper blades, you'll be amazed. Bed Harry, Holly owns MSD Performance, Flowmaster, Hurst, NOS, Wyand, Flowtech, Earl's Performance Plumbing, Hooker. Yeah. I don't know if they've been, if it's been a secret type of thing where they've been buying stuff out, or buying up companies. I don't know. But apparently they're growing, it says plus, I guess headers. Oh, Hooker headers. Demon Carbs, Race Pack, Super Chips, Diablo Sport, Edge Products, Excel Ignition, QuickTime, Hayes Clutches, Mr. Gasket, Lakewood, Mallard Ignition, B&M, APR, and Dyna? Okay. Well, thank you for that, Harry. Oh, wait a minute. Brian, are you saying I skipped a comment? Okay, says Barry, stop skipping my comments. Wait a minute. What did I miss? Let me scroll up here. The last comment I have from Brian is all I have heard about glass polishing is that it is only good for light scratches. Never tried it myself. That's the last comment I have on my screen. I don't see any others. Until it says, Barry, stop skipping my comments. So I don't know what I missed. Yeah, Dave, check out Rock Auto. You'll be surprised. Clark Clifford, look up Holley family of brands. Yeah. Yeah, there's apparently plenty of companies they own. Nick, hello. What are we talking about? Just Holley having a monopoly on all the auto parts industry. Nothing major. Nothing major. Ish, if Holley owns all these companies, wouldn't that be considered a monopoly? Well, probably not. I mean, I'm going to say probably not. I don't know. I don't what constitutes a monopoly in the automotive industry, because you have, and they probably have it figured out that there's ways they can tie it under one division and tie it under another division and tie it under another division to where it's spread out and maybe it's not so like straight under Holley. I don't know. Randy, I look forward to these online chat sessions. It's nice to be with like-minded guys. Yes, I agree. Nick, as long as somebody's making performance stuff, I guess. Yeah, I mean, yeah, as long as they're still making it. That's the thing. You have to think about it. If one of these smaller companies, and we have a whole list of them up here, let's just pick one and say, Hayes clutches. If the alternative was they go out of business, or Holley buys them up and they stay operating, yeah, go ahead, Holley, buy them up. Keep these companies going. We need all those. So I can see where that would, be beneficial for all of us. Dawn, maybe your chat settings are set to chat instead of newest first or top chat. No, mine. I can't change the settings. I can't change the settings. Mine just show up, and it's in order of basically timeline order. So that's all I have. I can't change any of my settings. So I don't know what Brian said that I missed. I really don't, because I don't see anything between those two comments. Say it again, Brian. I'll read it. Oh, okay. Right. Speaking of mail, we're speaking of mail. What was that? Is that after Dave? All right, I'm looking. I'm going to see if it's here. No, I don't. Now you get me on a scavenger hunt, because I'm looking for Dave's comment now, and I can't see it. Okay, you're just trying to drive me crazy, aren't you? See, now okay. All right, so what I have, and I'm just going to show you. I can't show you, but I'm going to tell you. I have Dave saying, speaking of mail, did you ever get my package? The next comment I have after that is Boogie Bum. That's what I have. Speaking of mail, Boogie Bum, then Clark, Holley owns Edelbrock. That's all I have. So I don't know what was. I didn't skip over anything. I don't know what's going on. Let me go back up here. Nick, I think they bought out Detroit Speed too. Really? Oh, that's a big. I mean, there's a lot. I don't know. I guess once you get so big, it's hard to stop them. Dave Conwell government definition of monopoly is very fluid. That is true. It's all in who's lining the pockets, right? Ed, looks like Edelbrock is with Comp Cams. Yeah, I didn't think that. It didn't make sense that Holly would own Edelbrock. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Doyle, I will add a plug for Southwest Performance Parts. I got my distributor coil and plug wires from them. Very happy, and price was very good. All right. Thank you, Doyle. Good information. Brian, anyway, it's all good. Okay, well, I don't know what I don't know what I'm missing. I feel like I'm missing something now. Clark, correction, Edelbrock didn't get bought by Holly. Apparently, Industrial Opportunity Partners owns the rest of the industry. So there you go. So you've got, I never even heard of Industrial Opportunity Partners. Never heard of them before. Holly Performance or Holly whatever, they're probably trying to compete directly with Industrial Opportunity Partners. So makes sense if they can buy them up, make them stronger. Crash Rider, Rock Auto is hard to beat on most parts. Prices, plus have a variety of brand selection. Also, with a promo code, you can save 5% on the total order, which helps pay some of the shipping charges. Yeah, that's the difficulty. You can get a great price sometimes, like, oh, great. And then shipping, not so great. Like that little Honda, I bought the core support. I ended up buying it from Summit. Now, Rock Auto had the core support for literally $75, something like that. But the shipping was $125 or $150. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'll drive halfway across the state for that much money. So I went down to Summit. I think I paid $110 or something for the thing, and it was already there. I didn't even have to, I ordered it, and it arrived at their store, and I just went and picked it up. Not 30 minutes from here. About 30 minutes. Robert, I'm here. What did I miss? Oh, we were just talking about monopolies. People, Holly making money off of industry and all that stuff. Shane, just as long as Holly isn't building their parts with a little 6-year-old Sumwi kid in China. Yeah. Well, let's hope not. But we all know 95% everything made is made in some other land. Nick, good Lord, Bear, do you have a squirrel family tap dancing on your internet connection outside? I don't know, Nick. I don't know. Believe me, it drives me crazy too. Randy, what is that? It's a big creepy looking bug. I pulled the 289 out of my Stang and am replacing it with 302 roller block stroke 347. 289 is 100% fresh and a 1966. Do these engines have any resale value? What should I ask for it? Well, that's a good question. That is a good question. I'm sure they have some resale value. Is it a 2-barrel engine or a 4-barrel engine? That's gonna be your first. What was it? I can't tell you what it's worth, but I would expect. Honestly, I would expect $1,500 anyway. I would think. Fresh engine. That's my guess. Anybody else have any input? Nick, Industrial Opportunity Partners is a horrible name. I know that. Yeah. I agree. That just doesn't sound good at all. Clark is talking to the Inferno Craftsman. Okay. Yeah, tell Robert what he missed. Nick, repelled is putting it lightly, more like displaced. Yes. So Randy, it's a 4-barrel with Voodoo cam. See, now Steve was on here earlier. Steve from Footage Factory was on here earlier looking for an engine for his 65 Mustang. He was looking at buying a new 302. Steve, Randy has an engine. It's already built. You and Steve need to get together and see if you can't work something out. Rain Man, what year is a good C4? Yes, Mason? I'm guessing you're trying to say transmission. It says yes, Mason, but I'm guessing you mean transmission. For 68 Mustang, could handle 400 horsepower. I don't have a good answer for that. I don't know. when I have a transmission done, I let my transmission guy build it, and then I just put it in the car. So I don't know if 1 year is better than the other or not. I really don't know. Yeah, transmission. Randy, Steve, all right, I'll give you a great deal, Steve. Yeah. Randy, what state are you in? Let's put it that way. That might help too. If you want to divulge that information. Trying to think, is there? I don't know. Maybe I should look into it. Maybe 1,500 is too much. Because South Carolina. See, you're not far, Randy. You're not far. You have any videos of it running? You need anything on trade? Because I have that. I'll be getting that 67 Mustang here very soon. I have to get it here very soon. And I know the engine is messed up for that car. Now, I don't know if I plan to make it, because that's what I want to make the fastback out of. I don't know if I want to make it a turnkey, situation or not. I know I don't want to do all the finish work to it. I don't want to do interior. I don't want to do chrome. I don't want to do any of that stuff. I want to just do all the sheet metal work and that sort of thing. I don't know if the engine I'm getting is any good. I know it's messed up. Just put it that way. I know it's messed up. But might be worth having a running 289 put in it. Might. Robert. Oh. Wait a minute. Robert's better half here. He had to run and fix my computer. Sorry, I will return him shortly. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here anyway. Nick, that's why you don't ask enthusiasts what something costs. They're all looking for the next best deal. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Randy, I have a 3-speed top loader. Want a 4 or 5-speed? I can't help you there. I know the other 68 car, it has a 3-speed in it. But I can't help you with that. Randy, don't really care about money so much. If you want it, we can work it out. Well, I'll tell you what, Randy. If you haven't, you probably have my email. Shoot me an email. It's at the bottom of the screen. Because I if it's a good running engine, like you're saying, might be worth picking up. So shoot me an email, and we'll go from there. All right, you can send me an email. Cool. Pull that back off of there. Okay. Getting some other stuff going on. Cool. Bad Harry, you can make a C4 take a lot of horsepower. A stock C4 can handle, unless you're doing drag racing, then you need to build stronger. Okay. So Bad Harry would know. He's done some drag racing. So he knows what he's talking about with that. But give you a bell for that. Like I said, when I do it, I hand my tranny guy here, put something together for me. I don't do transmissions. I'll put them in, I'll bolt them up, I'll do all that stuff, but I have no interest in taking one apart. I've other people have asked me, well, you could do it. I said, well, I could, but I don't want to. It's one of those things where I just don't want to. You start digging into a transmission, and there's so many pieces and parts and bearings and whatever. I would rather hand it to somebody who has the equipment, all the testing stuff they can do to it, whatever, measuring. And here, just take my money and give me a transmission that works. That's how I look at it. I'd rather, I've built engines before. I'd rather build an engine than go through a transmission, but that's just me. Some people really get into it, and that's fine. We all have our specialties that we like. I would rather be welding than building a transmission or even building an engine, honestly. I would rather be burning metal. So speaking of which, oh, wait a minute. Okay. Rain Man says, okay, thanks. I'm running a 347 Stroker with a C4. So there you go. Don, Autotrans is a career unto itself. Yes. Yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, I have a friend he's been doing this. He's been doing transmissions. He's also an aircraft mechanic, but he's been doing transmissions for at least 30 years. That's all he does every day. And I look at it like I couldn't do it every day. I couldn't sit there and tear down a transmission every single day and work out the kinks and put it back together. No. Nope. Wouldn't even want to be part of that. Just too much stuff going on. But I was going to mention again. Oh, yeah. I'm working on that video for Yes Water. So I want to get that put together. If I can resolve these other issues, I may just end up finishing the video as it is with the where I stopped and pointing out flaws. But let me show you something else. This thing, I'm pretty happy with this, at least at this point. They sent me a welding hood. And again, this will be on the video that I'm making, but I'll show it here as well because you guys are cool hanging out with me. So it comes with its own sleeve, right? Whatever, little sock thing, you put it in. Cool, great. But this helmet, I've never seen a helmet like this. It has lenses on the sides that act the same as act the same as when you're welding. So like it darkens all of them at the same time. It has a grind mode, so I can turn it to grind, and they don't change color. They're kind of greenish. But when you go to weld mode, and I know it's kind of hard to, probably can't see it, because it's looking through the reflective lens here. But anyway, these side pieces darken. Now, I've never seen a helmet like that. And of course, it has your sensitivity, sensor, and your delay function, and your shading. But at this point, I mean, this is even kind of neat. This little deal here, where you put it on, put it on your head, and you rotate this over and lock it down. But I've tried it, and so far, I like the way it works. So it also came with, like, this has a protective. You see this whole curve piece right here? It actually has 2 more of these that came in the package. So you can take off this outer guard and replace it. And this one's called the Gunslinger. Don't tell anybody there's an image on there, right? I don't even know what's on top. Looks like a horse or something. So anyway, I tried to get as much information on this as I could when I made the video, and I like it. It's working really well. At this point, it's probably the highlight between that and the welder at this point, because I'm still learning the welder stuff. Still learning that, what the options are. Okay, where are we at? So Rain Man saying he's making 410 from the blueprint. Okay, that's cool on the horsepower, because Randy was asking what kind of horsepower. Randy says, nice. Okay, Bet Harry, you can put as much up in the motor as you want, but the weakest link will break. If you build a strong engine, then you need strong U-joints, rear end, axles, all that. Yep, you are correct. Shane says he sent a pic. Let me see if I can load that. It doesn't break my computer, break my internet. He said that sent a pic. Eileen stole my JDD shirt, Joe Daddy's Garage shirt. Cool. I like it. Looks like you got a decent shop there. You got a 2-post lift. Nice workspace. Nice. Car's looking good. Car's looking good. Awesome. Whoops, wait a minute. Give you a bell for that. Robert gave me a hyphen or an underscore, one of the two. Rayman, I have a 68 fastback. Cool. That's cool. Hector, he says, nice. All right. Nick, 3M helmets are set up similar, but obviously more expensive. I like Miller hoods myself. Yeah, I have a Miller helmet as well. Pretty nice one. But, you know, if this works, I'll use it. I'll use it. You know, I think that helmet, if you buy it now, is like $150 or something. Compared to some of the Miller stuff, or maybe even 3M, I've seen those helmets in the hundreds of dollar range. But, you know, Nick, that actually looks like a very nice shop area. Man, my place is such trash. I got nice stuff, though. Well, you know, that is a nice looking shop. I like it. I mean, it's got a little office. It looks like a real business there, Shane. Looks like a real business setup. Okay. All right. So anyway, I'm going to try to get that video together. I have another video where I put the interior in the car. I've got to get that figured out. Get all that, you know, processed and put together. Let me see here. Doyle. The feed wheels on the S welder is not reversible from 30 to 23. It is reversible. Hold that thought. Where did I put it? The problem is, where did I put those? I think I put those wheels. I had some wire laying here, but yeah, hold on. The problem is, okay, here's the roller wheel, right? One side says 0.8. 0.8 what? Millimeter? I don't know. The other side says 0.9. So basically, 30 thousandths wire is what I fed onto the 0.9. Now, you know, you really can't see this, but it did what it was supposed to do. You know, the 0.9 with 30 thousandths, the roller pinched it down, fed it fine. My other wire, 0.025. If I put it in the 0.8, now you really can't see this, it disappears. It sinks in. It's gone. So, you know, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I don't know if like I said, 0.8 or 0.9, I guess that's millimeter. I don't know. So based on the math that I did, I would need a 0.6 for 025 wire. I did some internet searching and doing a metric conversion to standard, let's say. And I'm assuming, I don't know if this actually means 0.9 means millimeter or not. But anyway, the other wire is 025, and I don't even know why this says point on it. I guess it has to say point on it. but I'm going to assume it's going to be a 0.6 to make the 025 wire feed. So I'm trying to get some input from Yes Welder, because like I said, when I do my videos, I don't care if you give me a product. I am going to test it. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to tell people about it. And right now I have a couple of things that bug me about the welder that I really wish they would have said, hey, why don't we send you one of these? You can try it out, figure out what you don't like, and tell us. And I would have a good list. I would tell them what's wrong and and that would be true for just about any tool. If somebody were to give me whatever and say, check this out, tell me what you think, and be honest about it, well, you're going to get my honest opinion. But currently there's something wrong if you can't feed the 025 wire. So let's see, talking about the shop where Shane's at. If it ain't cluttered, you ain't working. Good point. Shane, not my shop, brother-in-law's shop, only can work on Eileen on Saturdays, then puts it back outside. But the lift is nice to have. Yeah, I'll bet. That is nice. Nick, there's a fine line there, Dawn. I walk it often. Yeah. Yep. Cassie's drawings. Wow, Jade is looking good. Thank you. Thank you. I think so too. I don't know when you saw it last. Let me pull your comment off. I don't know when you saw it last, but I have all the interior in. I don't know how much of that you can see, but I have to redo the console. I'll take it back out, put that shift rod in, bolt the console back in, and probably try to get the radio in place. I have that little digital radio from Crutchfield or whatever it was. I don't remember the company now. But I have that radio that I want to put in there. And so this is my favorite part, though. This is my favorite. I like that. I like that a lot. I really do. Didn't shut all the way. I didn't push it hard enough. Hold on. That sounds so good. Doyle says that is metric. You are correct, sir. Okay. Cassie. Oh, it's Shelby. Hi, Shelby. Hi, Shelby. Haven't seen any updates on your car in a while. Hope things are coming together. But yeah, glad you like it. I'm glad you like it, Shelby. Nick. Yeah, Jade is looking good. Yes. Yeah. Just like I said, just a couple little things that I need to get finished. I'll point out too that my idea, and you'll see it in the video that I make on the window trim and seam sealer around the window. That 3M, this 3M auto bedding and glazing compound, right? I had talked about taking and pulling back the gasket and basically applying this. That worked fine. Around the base of the windshield, around the windshield itself, that worked fine. Around the perimeter of the windshield, it also worked fine. Now I saw another video that somebody else did where they had like a huge mess. They made a mess of everything. I didn't make that mess. I mean, literally, I put some 1.5-inch tape, I think it was, around the perimeter of the windshield, on the car and the paint. And that was it. That's all I did. And then I applied this, and whenever the gasket came up, I had some come out of where the gasket and the windshield meet. I had some show up there, which is fine. That's what I want. And then I took like a paint stick and scraped it across. And then of course I cleaned it all up with lacquer thinner because it is sticky stuff, as far as that goes. But the problem, and the reason I didn't get both ends done, or back glass done as well, if you look at the end of this tube here, this thing is almost bottomed out. So I used that much material around the windshield. I just knew there wasn't enough to do the back glass as well. So I ordered another tube of this. It showed up today as well. So now I can work on getting the back trim on the car. Shelby, the heated seats work now. Cool. That's a good deal. I forgot you'd put different seats in there. Crusher, I must be boy, I must be working my butt off if that's true. Are you talking about the cluttered garage? Yeah. Yeah. Shane, you should make a CD with nothing but the sound of Jade's doors shutting. Well, and idling. Dun, 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 dun. It's got a great sound to it. Shelby, we have all the stuff out of the car except the back axle. Okay. And let's see. And then we will start putting the front end and the floor in, so it's going good. Awesome. That's nice to hear, Shelby. Maybe we need to have an update video at some point. See how things are going. Bad Harry, I see how great Jade is looking, and I think I have a long way to get to that point. Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of effort. You know, I haven't seen Wally on here tonight. I know Wally was working on painting his convertible. I haven't kept up with all his videos, but I know he was working on painting his convertible, and I know he ran into some problems, and I hope he got all those resolved. Let's see. Armando was wondering if you had any tips on installing the passenger side mirror on my 67. Didn't come with them. Thanks. Basically, there's a couple ways you can look at those mirrors. I'll tell you this. I put these mirrors on the car that have the internal turn signal, right? Which is a cool thing. But the driver's side is fine. You know, it had the factory mounts. The passenger side, I basically indexed it or located it based on the holes from the driver's door. So I measured from the front of the door back to the first hole, then the second hole, and then I took the mirror itself. I actually attached this mirror, and I also measured from the door to the tip of the mirror just to get some ballpark locations. Once I did that, I took the mirror and I set it in the trough, you know, where this thing sits, and took a Sharpie and marked where those holes need to go. However, make sure before you bolt that thing on. If you're just doing it to have it there, that's great. If you expect to use it, you may run into problems. What I ran into with these custom mirrors that have these turn signals in, the driver's side, perfect. Passenger side, I can't see anything out of it. Now, the passenger can see what's behind us, but I can't see anything. I can't turn it far enough physically. Like there's nothing, it's not hitting the vent window or anything like that. I just can't, it won't turn any further. If I do anything more, I'm going to break it. So at this point is a cosmetic piece. It's there for looks, and it's there because of the turn signal that I put in it. So keep that in mind. May want to get, just have somebody hold it in place and tilt it so that you can see if it's something you can see out of before you go any further. The other thing you have to deal with, you know, some people have offset them slightly because of the vent window. I don't have that problem. Where I put mine, it's in the exact same location as the driver's door. So, and even Rayman says, I was take a tape and measure the edge of the door to the mirror, mark dots for holes. Yes, that's a perfect example. Perfect example. Nick, I need to work on my turd box while I'm able to tonight. Been fun hanging, folks. Talk next time. Until next time. All right. Thanks, Nick. Glad you were here. All right, Shelby. Maybe a video? Okay. That's cool. Yeah, take a pic and send it to me. That would be awesome. That would be great. Ed, I was thinking of using the window sealant for the Ranchero bed panel. Thoughts? I mean, that would work. I think I mentioned to you before, that I would use the butyl tape, the roll tape, like the where did I put that? I think I still have it here somewhere. That I would probably use this roll tape stuff to seal up your Ranchero bed panel. This stuff is great. You know, it works. I'll tell you this, I actually use this to put the vapor barrier in my doors and in the quarter panel of this car. I took it and I stretched it out and got it thin, put it in place, and used that. So there's the video's coming. I promise there's a video coming on that. I think everybody's kind of chuckling at Nick's comment. But yeah, Rayman, exactly right on that mirror, tape, dots, drill. Yeah. Okay, so he just told you, LOL. Okay. I don't know what I missed there. Maybe I'm missing something. Shane, did you reinforce your side mirrors inside the door shell that you need to screw into the sheet metal? That's all I did. I didn't add anything. It feels very solid. You know, unless somebody comes up and starts yanking on it, it's not going to hurt anything. You could easily add a metal plate under there. You know, you could take another piece of sheet metal from scrap and put it up there at the same time whenever you're drilling the screws through or drilling the holes. Might help a little bit, but I did not add anything. Arthur, hey guys, I bought it and was amazed over the Harbor Freight Black Widow HTC paint gun. Yes. Yes. I've enjoyed the ones I have. I can tell you that. Bad Harry Wall, I had a problem with the gun, didn't get clean, 100% after using clear. I think it was wet sanding the base. Yeah, that's kind of what I saw last, and I haven't seen any updates. So, yeah, he's learning. Arthur, it was $250 after taxes. I sprayed my 67 Fastback this weekend. Cool. I feel pretty lucky. If you got it for $250 after taxes, because I got both those Harbor Freight guns, Black Widows. I think I paid $150 a piece for them. When they came out and I saw them show up at the store and they had a super sale, whatever, $150 a piece, I didn't care how good they were. I snatched them up, and I like them. They're good guns. Ish, $20 for a fisheye mirror to attach on the passenger side. Awesome. Thank you, Ish. That's a great idea. Wait a minute. Shelby, we have not had time to work on it because of other things with my dad's Mustang. He has been racing it. Okay. Well, that's fine too. You're not ready to drive yet anyway. So you have time. Arthur, I use crush screws for my rearview mirror. Yeah, you're talking like the riv nuts. Is what I don't know if it's the same thing or not. Crush screws. There's a tool called a riv nut, which is basically what they put in these anyway. I don't know if you're referring to the same thing. Rainman saying he used the crushed nuts for door mirrors, get the metal, not the rubber. So yeah, it's in the aircraft industry, they're called riv nuts. That's all I know. It's basically a threaded, looks like a sleeve with a flange on it, and it's threaded on the inside, and you thread it onto the post, and it's got like a big gun, like almost like bolt cutters kind of look to it, and it compresses that and locks it in. So I helped a friend use some of those this past weekend on a project he was doing. Ray, I've heard good things about those Black Widow spray guns. We'll be picking up both for when I'm ready to paint the vet. Yes, good call. Shelby, my dad has it being worked on right now. Okay, good. Arthur, yes, nuts are they're aluminum nuts. Okay. Yeah, I've seen them, in the aircraft industry, there's a variety of specialty fasteners that they've always used, and riv nuts is what we call them because it was like a rivet nut type thing. And they do a great job. They do a great job. So But anyway, like I said, that mirror on that side, it's just there for looks now and has that little indicator built into the mirror. It's okay. It's okay. All right, Shelby. Have a good night. Glad you were here. There's another thing I'm doing, and I'm partly because I need to get the shop organized, because the 67 Coupe de Fastback project is going to be coming here very soon. But also, those people are supposed to be coming, and if I get this Yes Welder figured out, they're supposed to come and do some video in here. So I want to have the shop kind of more cleaned up and organized. But, I'm digging around and I'm looking, I'm like, well, I've got tubs or boxes of miscellaneous this, leftover that. And so I decided I'm going to start trying to get all the extra stuff from this car into individual tubs, get them labeled, and put them in my storage so that when I get the 67 here, which is really a basket case, it's another basket case car. It is all over the place. I'm going to have to make probably at least 2 trips to get all the pieces here. And even then, it's probably not going to have all the pieces. I think there's some stuff missing. But anyway, I don't want to have an overlap and be confused as to what parts go where. Just makes sense. Keep them separate. If I need something from one, I can get it for the other, and that's fine. But again, the Coupe de Fastback, the plan is to just make it a fastback, not do all the other stuff to it. I don't want to build it, but we'll see how it goes. But that's the plan. Also, I may be doing conducting a poll. Yeah, I think I may be conducting a poll on the channel, and we'll see how it goes. But basically, I'm thinking I may throw it out there. What would you rather I work on? The 68 Camaro, the basket case Camaro, or the 67 Mustang? So I may put a poll out there and see what the responses are, and then I may just go with whatever. But I'm leaning towards trying to get the 68 Camaro back together so that I can send it down the road, get it out of my environment, and move on to other things. Ray, looking forward to that conversion. Yes, it'll be fun. In fact, I'll probably be making a road trip to Western Pennsylvania to get all the sheet metal for that project. Shipping is outrageous. I think it would be probably well over $1,000 to ship all the panels and all the stuff I want to get. So I will probably load up my trailer, my Suburban, and hit the road. And I can't do that until I get the car here. I want to make sure I have everything here and in place around it. Boogie Bum saying yes to both. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it'll be good either way, whether I do the Camaro or the Mustang. But I know a lot of people they started watching me because of that Camaro, or I think they did. And there's been a lot of people asking about it, saying, we want to see that thing done. And I want to see it done. I have all the pieces here. At least I think I have all the pieces here. And I was trying to contact Auto Metal Direct because the panels I have are not, they're not the high-end pieces. So I sent an email or message to Auto Metal Direct saying, hey, maybe if you'd be interested in sponsoring this, give me some quarter panels, a tail panel, same place, same stuff that I used on the 68, the other 68 that I built. I can, give you some advertising or something, but I haven't heard back from them. I may have to call them directly and see what they say. Rain Man saying Camaro, yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I need to get them both done. I know that. I also have other things that I need to get done. But before I get to 67 here, that's you know, I've got to get the trim on this car, a couple little things, and I have to be a little concerned. I did find some antifreeze under the car Friday, and I don't know if it just got a little warm and overheated. I don't know yet. I'm hoping I don't have to change out the radiator, because that's the radiator that was in the car. I may end up having to buy a radiator. I don't know yet. We'll find out. Boogie Bum, I started watching because of Jade. Once that's done, it's all bonus time. Yeah. Well, yeah. You know, and like I said, I've got the Camaro, the 67 Coupe, and then the red 68. And I really don't know. I really don't know exactly what I'm going to do with the red car yet. It's up in the air. I really don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Terry says, Barry the Mustang, Highland Green 390 four barrel Detroit locker. Yeah, that would be nice, but I don't know that I want to go all through all that. I don't, like I said, I really don't want to build it like to completion. I have a lot of stuff, a lot of other projects that I'll be working on, doing sheet metal work on. So, not a bad idea though. Not a bad idea. I have to come up with a name for that car, by the way, because I can't use the name from the movie car. You know, the Gone in 60 Minutes. I can't use that one. You know, but I thought I might come up with some other names for the 67 conversion. Armando, any thoughts on doing the Shelby drop, pros and cons? I've heard good things. A friend of mine who drag races says he would not do that on his drag car. He didn't like the way the tires, whenever the car launches, you know, the wheels drop down more. That's the only thing I've heard. But otherwise, I've heard good things. I have not done it. I have not tried it. If anybody else has any information, you know, on that, but I that's all I can say is I've heard good things. So, Bad Harry, you might have to work on both at the same time. I've been stopped a few times waiting for parts. Make a list and start ordering now. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very valid point. I may have to verify that I can get those other parts that I was talking about. That could be a hindrance. So, yeah. Good comment, Harry. Thank you for that. Let me see where we're at here. Okay. Call it Frank. Well, Frank N. Frankenstein. Yeah. 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 Who knows? Who knows? Because, you know, the Camaro is going to be basket case. That's what it started out as, basket case Camaro. That's what it's going to continue as. But the 67, I don't know yet. I don't know yet. We'll find out. It'll come to me. It'll come to me at some point. Okay. I can feel it. My voice is starting to get a little rough feeling, and that's usually a time for me to say I need to go in. So it's been an hour and 45 minutes. Pretty awesome. I appreciate everybody being here, commenting. The super chats, obviously, those always help out and make it better, you know. So I appreciate Ish and Jeff, JK Mustang, contributing to the cause. That just is tremendously helpful in the whole process. In fact, I don't know where Jeff's disappeared. So, yeah, I don't know where it went. Anyway, Dawn's Manufactory. Oh, wait. Robert says, I'm sort of back troubleshooting a memory issue on her gaming computer. Okay. 67, Red Dave. Well, the 68 is Red Dave. That's kind of where it's going. It's red. That's kind of where Red Dave is going. Terry says, call it Bullet. Yeah. Marshall, I once picked up a truck for a friend, called him and told him it was a train wreck. Name stuck. See y'all. Glad you were here. Okay. All right. I'm going to call it a night, and I'll be back. I should be back. No problem. Hopefully Thursday. I'll try to create a link on YouTube before coming on, just so you know. But I appreciate everybody being here, and hope all is well. Have a good week, and we'll be look forward to the next video coming out. So until next time, take care of yourselves. See you.